border was... Oh shit, Ethan's here. Hold on one second, Ethan. I'm coming, buddy.
Oh, there you are.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yo, what's up, buddy?
Dude, not much. How are you doing?
Good, man. Really good, actually. I feel like finally figuring stuff out. Got my health in order. The spring is here. Like it's all happening. How are you doing?
Doing good. I'm really stoked about the spring. It's been snowing a lot where I live. I'm not built for that.
All right, fuck yeah, dude. So, what do you want to talk about? I mean, you want to dive into Septasync? Anything else that you're thinking about right now? We just watched your Tesla pyramid video. What do you think about those underground structures, dude?
If it's real, humanity has so much to think about. I mean, it's so beyond. It's crazy.
I know.
It's absolutely crazy.
I know. It's like we're sitting here like wasting all of our time with these stupid jobs and shit when there's like probably free energy and like maybe these things were manifested with 5D entities or something. Who knows? And we're all just going around doing stupid jobs all day. But yeah, I think we have a lot to like think about and look forward to.
There's been so many like I'm positive there's been civilizations before humanity. There's just too much evidence of it.
Yeah. Where are you in are you diving into the Tartaria stuff, or are you like looking at Atlantis shit, or who are you talking about? Who do you think made the pyramids?
Dude, I have no clue who made them, but I know humans didn't do that.
Yeah.
The pyramids, 12 billion pounds. Humans didn't do that. The blocks all came from 500 miles away. Within 0.05 of a degree of true north. There's just too many perfections for, basic cuneiform writing. Yeah. At the time, you can't even give out instructions detailed. It shocks me. It kind of pisses me off that people actually think that we made those.
I know. Well, so my crew, I think that for sure that we didn't just like make them with hand tools, but my crew is starting to think that we can do stuff with like our brains, like manifesting things by like maybe we can talk to like 5D, these plasma orbs that are around or something, and like manifest these cathedrals and these pyramids or something. I think life might be more magical than we even have any idea about. So I'm hoping for that.
I can talk about that actually.
Yeah.
You remember when I first got on TikTok, I was talking about the gateway experience and how I had this really trippy stuff happening to me.
Dude, that's the literal reason why I got into this stuff. I didn't try the gateway tapes till I saw your tape, your video talking about it, and that's what kicked off my whole like spiritual awakening and shit. It's crazy, and it honestly a lot of it was because I watched your video.
Well, yeah, I mean, think about it. Like, I did the gateway tapes. I was at a really bad point in my life, and someone convinced me it would really help me like it helped them.
Mm-hmm.
So I went in super skeptical. Like, I'm really skeptical of everything. I don't believe half the stuff I talk about in my videos. I always make that clear, by the way. I'm not a faker. But I had this crazy experience, these, like the orbs, whatever it is that you talk to in that place, they told me things that came true, and they said, we're telling you this so you can verify in the future. All this stuff happened. It told me, follow our instructions, and within a year from now, you won't recognize your life, and it will be the start of more than you could ever imagine.
Dude.
A year is tomorrow, and since then, I blew up on TikTok. All of that was super helpful. Septasync came out. I'm going to a trade show in Beverly Hills, so I'm flying out tomorrow morning.
Cool.
But it's unreal. Like it is unreal, and that might be in the same kind of realm of what you're talking about with like the orbs and kind of bringing things in. I mean,
yeah,
they give me like 3 rules to follow and said, if you can do this, you'll have a life beyond your expectations.
Yeah. So you like nuts. Know that there's something here, like whether it's aliens or like, some conscious entity or something, like, that there is some like that's the proof they gave you, right? So you like believe that there's something, right?
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
I mean, it could be anything. And really, when you look around in different religions that talk about other beings or anything at all, it's all the same things with just different names. It's higher dimensional. The Quran talks about it. They're called jinns. Yep. They live above us. It even says Allah, which just means God. He lives in the highest. So like the highest dimension created the ones under it. You can find it literally everywhere. And I just think people like need to open their eyes a little bit.
Yeah, Totally agree, dude. And it's the same thing with like the prana, the chi, the ether, you know, like all these things that everyone's talking about, all these different cultures, it's the same thing, you know? Like everyone just needs to get on
Yeah, yeah.
the same page a
Zen,
little bit.
Shi, exactly, exactly. Humanity needs to unite. We separate with all these differences. Like I'm Muslim, for example, and for a while I've not told people that because they get kind of weird. But it's like Christianity.
Mhm.
We believe in God and Jesus and all the same. You know, I know there's more there.
Yeah.
I know that there's more there. Like something made us. This world is just too perfect to be completely random.
Yeah.
I have a hard time believing we came from monkeys.
Yeah. I agree. I feel like there's some like divine something here at work, you know, with like you see like the fractals in all of nature and stuff, and like I don't know, just the way that like the earth is this beautiful like almost heaven-like place if it wasn't so awful to live in right now, you know. It has the potential to be awesome, right? But I agree. Like I went from like a pure total skeptic of all of this. Like I've been fighting like I don't I'm more like spiritual. I don't really follow any religion, but my mom was religious growing up, and I feel like I always fought that, you know. So it's like hilarious that I'm here. But yeah, I feel like I also came to this realization that like there's some bigger hand or something at play here. Like you see the stuff with like the Indra's web. You talked about that in a video once. And you like see that when you're on mushrooms and stuff, and then you see that same pattern in nature. It's like, what the hell is going on here? So I agree, there's something going on, and I think if we all just like realize that we're all not that different, and we all just instead try and figure this out together, like the world could be mysterious and magical and fun. It doesn't have to be awful the way that they make it.
100%. Man, someone called me a Fed. That's really funny. I'm reading your chat
Who
right
said
now.
that?
I don't know.
What
Judge
name?
Doomer.
Judge Doomer? This guy is a Fed? Dude, who the
Oh, that's funny.
fuck him?
Oh, what's the other one say?
Exascale Fund bought his new company. Judge
Dude,
Doomer.
I'm gonna sell that company as soon as I can. Like it's that's gonna catapult me to opening a soup kitchen and retiring, dude. That's my
Fuck
goal.
yeah, dude. But I agree, dude. Like my life has totally changed too. Like in the last year, I feel like similarly, and I do think it's come on probably from the freaking Gateway tapes too. I didn't have an experience where I've like actually spoken with any entities or anything yet, but I'm looking forward to it. But I've gotten like cool downloads and stuff. The thing I tap into more is like my intuition. Like I feel like a literal like pull in my stomach, like someone's like pulling on my belly button when I'm like thinking about something and like trying to figure out the truth behind something. Like I feel it like it's like a physical manifestation. So I haven't had like an
Dude,
astral projection experience yet, but I'm hoping I'll unlock it one day.
you know what's neat about that kind of stuff is that experience I had, it took about 2 weeks for me to have the whole like out of body experience. And for a really long time I couldn't do it again.
Oh, really?
Like I was almost obsessively like every night going in there and like trying to learn what is this place, because it felt too real. And after it said some really specific things that would happen, and when they started happening in order I was like, whoa. And I couldn't go in for a while. It literally told me, it said, you know, you have no reason to be here, so don't. And for like almost the better part of almost a year, I'd try like every night. I gave up for a while, but I think it comes with timing, you know.
Yeah, and I wonder too if like, cause I had like this weird thing happen to me that was like one of the first things that I needed like proof of this, that there's something happening here. I wonder if it was a similar thing for you where you needed like something to happen so that you would know that this stuff is real, so that you would continue down this road. Cause I feel like if I didn't have, basically I was making a video one night talking about mushrooms and stuff and how they're like a conscious entity and shit, and I was making a joke at the end about Paul Wysopal, you know, the guy I always talk about, Timothy McVeigh. But my audio glitched when I was talking about mushroom people and when I was talking about Paul, like on both of those words, and it has never happened before, and it never happened before that, and it has never happened again. And to me, I took that as like, I think they're like fucking pointing at me, like being like, you're right and we are here, like, because I was talking about them being able to, like, maybe they're like a giant brain and they're conscious and they are who are like we can probably like be on the same frequency with them and like communicate with them in some way. That's what Terrence McKenna was talking about and stuff. So it was the first time that I was like kind of understanding that consciousness is bigger than just like us. Like we aren't the only possessors of consciousness. Like everything is conscious, so
Oh yeah, dude. I mean, I treat everything like it's alive, and I feel like that is such a healthy way to live.
yeah.
I mean, even rocks, dude. Like
I was just about to
it
say,
sounds stupid, but
no.
it's just kind of how I'm built. But yeah, what you were saying about needing validation that stuff was real. In that first gateway experience, it told me 6 things that would happen. The sixth one just happened, which was Septasync, but it said crazy things. I'd get forcefully ripped from where I lived. I'd lose a close family member. She would leave me just enough to start this new chapter of my life. And it kept going, and it was super specific things. And I lived in LA. I lost everything I had. My car got repoed from starting a business that just catapulted downwards. I almost got evicted from where I lived. I barely made it out of that. And then, I had to move back with my family. They helped me get back on my feet. And then my aunt passed away really suddenly. She left me a phone with a really nice camera that I've been making videos with and enough money to buy a car. I mean, it was exactly what it told me, and it kept going. 4 more things after that. I was like sitting there like, I cannot deny this.
Yeah.
But in there, it told me, it said like, our creator made you this way for a reason. You're going to have to see it to believe it. So here you are. So, I mean, you're totally onto something.
Yeah. Dude, that's so cool. I feel like the last time you were here, you talked about the first couple things that they told you were going to happen. So it's cool to see it all happening. So wait, are you caught up now on everything that they told you was going to happen?
I mean, if the last one is Septasync, then yes. I'd like to assume so, especially tomorrow marking a year, and I'll be at a big like business conference for this.
Yeah, that's like a sign.
I sure hope so.
Yeah.
I really want to I want to sell this for enough money to retire and just open up a soup kitchen and like race go-karts or something. I'm pretty simple. That would be a really good life for me.
Yeah, dude, same. I don't really want much either. I just want to like teach yoga and stream and figure out stuff and keep learning. Like that's all I want to do too.
Yeah, and you're on a good path for it.
Yeah, I'm trying. One of these days. But dude,
so have you listened to Septasync anymore?
Yeah, dude. So I did the review, and that one, the first time so far has been the best experience. Then the second time I did it when I was going up on a bus to visit my girlfriend, and that was cool. I didn't get quite the same visuals, but dude, there's something with that sound that like literally shuts your body down. It's very cool. And then I just did the third tape right before, and yeah, dude, there's something here. It's so cool, and I'm glad that you're like making it available to people. And because, dude, when I heard about the gateway tapes, I looked up before I found like the YouTube versions. I looked up how much they sell the tapes for, and it was like $1,000. Come on, so
it's unbelievable, dude. I cannot believe like. The gateway tapes helped me so much. Like I had PTSD from events when I was younger, and dude, I went through like experimental therapies. I was one of the first people to do psilocybin therapy.
Oh, cool.
I wasn't even 18 yet, dude. Or no, I was freshly 18 actually, but they put me through all kinds of crazy stuff, and nothing worked like the gateway tapes did. I don't know what happened, but like 2 months into listening to Gateway, I realized I was like, I haven't woken up screaming in like a long time. And I've had like almost no symptoms since then. I still have issues in big crowds, and I can't sit with my back to a door, but that's it. Like it has done so much good, and I cannot believe they charge so much money for that.
Yeah. So it's awesome that you're like making it so available, and that's commendable. We love that. Do you think that like, what do you think is going on here? Is it like the frequencies or the experience that helped you with your PTSD? Like, I know that we think that sounds are healing somehow. We're trying to figure that out, but maybe it's a combination. But yeah, what do you think?
I don't know if it's the frequencies or what it does, but I know like our brain works in patterns, right? So if you get bit by a dog as an infant, you're going to build a pattern to fear dogs. You might not even remember it happening, but your brain does, like the body does. So when you see a dog, you'll instantly feel fear, even if you don't remember being bit by the dog. And over time, those neural pathways get overwritten. Your brain will say, this isn't important. It's not helping me. I'm going to use the space for something else. I think what frequencies do is, it's called neurogenesis, but I think they do something like that where they're building new brain pathways or neural pathways, creating new patterns in the brain and overriding the old ones. And it's deeper than just the sound. Have you seen my video about the deaf listener of Septasync?
Yeah. Dude.
Insane. I mean, that makes no sense at all. That should not work. She can't process the audio to get the whole binaural beat effect. So why is it working for her? I'm still really confused about this, but it makes me think it's just so much deeper than humanity understands.
Yeah. Will you explain it real quick? So there's a user of the Septasync tapes who did she have cochlear implants, and she tried it with them on and it didn't work, but she turned them off and it did work?
Yeah, so she's fully deaf, cochlear implants, cannot hear without them at all. She listened with her implants on, like she listens to the Gateway tapes, and Septasync worked for her, but not very good. She can pull out the power banks of the implants, so they don't work at all.
Yeah.
And she had like a full out-of-body experience, was seeing things, was going places. Her body was like vibrating. I mean, it's almost the same exact experience everybody else is having, the really structured, like, my body vibrated, I started overheating, the same things people list off. And it's bizarre. I mean, like, by fundamental science, Septasync should not even work. It's like waves crashing into each other in the ocean. They're going to cancel each other out or really interfere with each other. And even on like a spectrogram, which is how you read like audio and wavelengths, they're screwed up. They shouldn't be working at all. So it's just, I'm really confused, and I just replicated it exactly how I dreamt it when I got the idea.
Yeah. Do you want to tell everyone how you came to think of this?
Oh yeah, so I went to see some of my buddies in California. I was meeting up with investors for like a business. I was trying to just figure something out, get a ball rolling, and I knock out in this hotel room. I got super high first. Me and my friends smoked like a lot, so we were gonna go to the beach, and then none of us could even drive. So I knock out, and I start having the craziest dream. I do not dream a lot, and I almost never remember them. So this one like stuck with me. But I was winning some kind of award, like a Nobel Prize or something, where like science based. All of the audience members were wearing lab coats, and they had like the little goggles in a lab and stuff. It was pretty exaggerated, but in the dream I kept saying like, I discovered a new type of research in the brain, new stuff of consciousness. And then I just list off the frequencies. It was with the frequencies 140 and 143, 160 and 164. And I listed off 14 of them. I woke up and somehow remembered it all, wrote them all down, and then knocked out. And like 2 weeks later, I get home. Sorry, my cat. 2 weeks later, I get home and, oh, dude, you guys want to meet my cat?
Yes, of course.
Right, I'll bring him out right after this.
Yeah.
So I get home 2 weeks later, and I'm trying to make it, and it's kind of working, but it's got a lot of interference, so it sounds like just ass, like it hurt. And I'm showing my dad, and he's like, "Oh, that's cool, I guess." And I was like, "Hang on." And I started clicking stuff, and like I didn't really know what I was doing, and I screwed it up really bad. And he's like, "Well, let me hear it." And he hears it, and it worked. Like, my screw up is what made the whole thing work. So I'm listening to it, and I was like, "Oh my God!" I called a patent attorney that day to start trying to figure this stuff out.
Yeah, you like turned this around really fast. I'm very impressed with how fast you got this off the ground. When you first announced it, I was like, "Oh, this will be cool to like see in a year." I didn't think you'd get it done so quick.
Yeah, I have a big business background. I've launched 6 businesses. A lot of them didn't work, and it was way outside of my control. Like one time, a dude went missing. I was working with. He's still missing, so that's weird. But it's I've had so many mistakes I've made in the past, and I learned from all of them. So when I put this together, it was like I knew what to do, I knew what not to do. I had contacts to call already. That the guy that built my website, for example, failed 2 businesses with that dude. Like we're cool. Tight, so it was great,
dude. Yeah, like the thing with I feel like your sound compared to the gateway process is like it's almost like going from like mono music to like the like like the Beatles like wall of sound type of like immersive experience. But like, you want to talk? Can you tell us at all about like the production of it and stuff? Like, so did you like make it yourself? Or
Yeah.
you made it all? And so you picked these tones that you heard from your dream and layered them, and then do you have them spaced out in the headphones like stereo wise, or is it all just left and right? Or
Dude, I'm right next to my computer. Do you want me to show you?
yeah.
All right, give me a second. Gotta pull up Audacity. I made it all on
You made it all in
free software.
Audacity? Let's go. That's
I hate
awesome.
spending money, man.
Yeah, fuck yeah. That's so cool. I use all the freeware stuff too. I always record it in GarageBand personally.
All right, I gotta pull the phone off the mount here. All right. Oh, there you go. So this is tape 2 right here. So all of the audio is the top layer, and it just kind of goes. It's got big spaces and whatnot, and I'll zoom way out. But you have like the wind blowing, and then all of your different frequencies. They're offset in different ways on each tape, but it's all the same like length of offsets, like between half a second down to the millisecond. And a lot of this stuff you'll see here is the volume is so low that you couldn't physically hear it. Like that's negative 31 decibels, the bottom few frequencies. So you can't even hear them if you just listen to the tones alone. But if you add those tones onto tones you can already hear, it makes them sound completely different. Even though if you listen to them alone, there's nothing. It's trippy stuff.
Yeah, it is. I know the whole way the binaural thing works is so odd. And like, you can prove it to yourself too. If you just take one of the earphones off and listen to it, it's just one tone, and then the other one. But then you hear it and it's
one tone. Yeah. It's really cool. Binaural beats are like a huge passion I never knew I had.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, I've always been into like making like improv, like trance music. I feel like there's something similar here, because I've always like known that there's something cool and healing and like tribal almost with like sounds, and I feel like your frequency kind of gets you in that headspace. Because like I said, the first time I listened, I was like hearing all of this stuff that I think my brain was kind of putting in there.
Yeah, people say it gets really tribal for them. I've heard that a lot. Like,
really?
Kind of like Aztec-y, if that makes sense. Like, so it's neat. I'm gonna go get my cat really quick before I forget.
All right, I'll go grab mine too, so I can show you mine. Oh, who's that?
Her name is Joplin, dude. She's like the sweetest cat ever.
Joplin?
Yeah, she's a real sweetheart.
Joplin with a P?
Yeah, Joplin with a P.
Oh.
She came with the name. I was gonna change it, but if you literally say like juice, she'll respond. She just knows the J. So I felt bad changing it. Oh,
he's from the trash, but we love him still.
Yeah, that's where I found Joplin.
He doesn't like to be held.
Oh, dude, I got one more cat if you guys are up for it.
Oh, of course.
All right, 1 second again.
Dude, Joplin has the prettiest face I've ever seen.
Now this guy might be more mad because he gets hungry. Oh, this is Momo. He's half Maine Coon and really, really big. If you can't
Dude, he
tell.
Looks big.
Yeah, he's a big dude. He meows like a little kitten. He'll be like, meh. It's really funny.
Dude, I love
Say hi to all the people.
Say hi, everybody.
Right, yeah, he's not
Momo's cute. We love him. Dude.
Yeah, he's a really good cat. They both sleep under the covers with me every night, so I kind of just like hold them. It's really nice.
I'm so jealous. All of my cuddle cats are deceased, unfortunately. I've just got the strays who are scared of me now.
Dude, Joplin, it took probably like a year and a half for me to be able to pet her for more than like 10 seconds before she'd freak out and run away. She just started cuddling like maybe 2 months ago.
Dude,
they just gotta build trust. Momo, stop making noise.
These ones are very slow on that. I've had all of them for like 4 years, but we're working on it. Have you always had cats?
Yeah, I've always loved cats a lot.
They're the best, dude.
Cats are really cool. Yeah. I like dogs too, but cats are
special.
I don't know, they're more my speed. Yeah.
Yeah, same. I've always had dogs growing up, but I got a cat in college, and I was like, yo, these are my guys. So I've always just had them now.
Oh, hi Momo. Yeah, he's sitting in my lap now.
Good. So this
It's,
conference you're going to tomorrow, it's for the tapes, right? You're going to talk to people about it, or
yeah, it's called the Biohackers World. It's like a convention they do in like LA, Houston, and Miami. So they kind of just move around every few months.
dude, that's
Um,
cool.
yeah, it's cool. I mean, I don't even really know anything about biohacking. I did a little bit of research and it's like kind of sound baths and sound
I mean,
healing
you're
and stuff.
kind of
So
biohacking with your with yeah with your tapes. I was gonna ask
yeah,
because I
it's
feel like there's a similar thing that happens with. Have you ever been to like a? You should go to like a sound bowl performance. Um, my yoga studio does it every once in a while, and it has a very similar vibe. Like all the crystal bowls kind of make that same like wave sound, and it's like immersive, and it kind of has a similar vibe. And I wonder too if like a lot of these cathedrals and stuff were tapping into a similar thing, because what's happening with your tape, I feel like, is what like what feels like could happen at these cathedrals when everyone's like singing, and because I think it's like raising our consciousness or something somehow. Like I don't
yeah,
know.
tripping balls off sound, like you said.
Yeah, exactly, right? So I wonder what it is. Sound. I think sound might be totally amazing.
I think our brains are really malleable to sound, and
Yeah,
it's just not explored a lot. I mean, it could be top secret. Like, what was the was Havana syndrome? Do you remember that from last year?
yeah,
Yeah, like they were using sound waves or microwaving people from a distance or whatever it was. But our brains are extremely malleable to sound. I mean, it's sound can make us just music alone, can make you scared. Like
yeah,
horror movie music is watch a horror movie without the music and it's funny.
yeah.
I don't care what movie you choose. You're gonna sit there and be like, what is going on? Like music does things to our brain that I think we haven't explored deeply enough. We just took it at base level of it kicks out endorphins into your brain and it makes you feel good.
Yeah.
And there's just more to it.
Yeah, I mean, it can literally give you physical sensations like goosebumps and stuff, like music giving you shivers. Like, that's so weird to me. So, I agree. We need to,
Yeah.
like, explore this deeply. You started doing, like, you were testing people with, like, an app, testing their, like, EEG, their heart rate and stuff, right? Are you going to try and do, like, actual, like, scientific testing?
Yeah, that's why I've been promoting it so much and I'm starting to do the trade shows. I've sold about 3,000 tapes
Let's
and
go.
maybe like less than 5% of the people have complained saying it was underwhelming. No one's had like a bad experience that I've seen,
Great.
which I have a hard time believing, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
And as I sell more tapes, have more reviews, more people talking about it, it'll be a lot easier to get research done without it like spending all of the money I have.
Yeah, yeah.
So I think if I can pull off research, I'll do it. And if it's going to cost too much money, I'll probably just look at pumping as much revenue through the company as I can and then exiting and selling it to someone that has the capital for that.
Oh, okay, cool. Sweet, man. What's your latest CIA deep dive that you're going into, or what's interesting you right now other than binaural beats?
Dude, I've been like solely on that, but I'm waiting for more alien stuff.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for more alien stuff. I really think the binaural beats and the gateway process, even MK Ultra, all stemmed from trying to fly the craft that crashed on the Earth.
Dude,
I'm
oh, you
almost
mean
positive.
like the craft that they needed to use like
Yeah,
telepathy for?
like
Probably, dude. I mean, I think that they know that consciousness and stuff is way more powerful than like I'm not a believer of like MK Ultra died. Like I think that they just went global with it, and now they use
yeah,
our
they figured it
phones,
out.
and yeah, they figured it out for sure, dude. I mean the 5G they can probably control us with, like who knows, But yeah, the I love when people are like, yeah, MK Ultra, they disbanded it in the 70s because it didn't work. Oh, did it not? They've totally figured it out.
Yeah, it's all that stuff is just there's so much there that I mean, we shouldn't even know about MK Ultra. They accidentally put some of the financial files in like an offsite storage and it survived the purge. It
Is
was
that
like 11,000 files or something too. Like just what did we not know about?
Yeah.
You know, the stuff in those files were terrible, like the brothels and the dude jumping through the glass out of his 80th story window or
Yeah,
whatever
dude.
that was.
Yeah, I forgot
I've
his
never
name.
never heard of someone who forgot to open the window before they jumped.
Dude, I know, right?
It's a little crazy.
It's always like that. People just be dying randomly and then it just gets swept under the rug.
Yeah, like I really think there's something to it with the gateway process and like the alien stuff. Have you ever read the Project Kona Blue Files?
Mm-mm.
You should
Project
read
Kona
these. They're
Blue
crazy.
Files?
Yeah, they're from 2011. They got released like within the last year. It talks about continuing remote viewing, finding countermeasures for it, basically confirming that the government, there were still parts of it that thought that there was value in that stuff. But the further you read, and don't quote me on this wording, but a lot of it sounds like they'll say, we need to retrieve people that have had contact with these crafts, retrieve their family members and all. And it just reads like, that kind of sounds like kidnapping. And
Dude,
it keeps going through these crazy things. It's talking about people getting mentally damaged from just looking at UFOs, or they call it UAPs and AAROs, I think, advanced anomalous airspace somethings.
yeah.
So they always kind of dilute it by calling it like 10 different names, but it literally says like they have medical centers for people and their families because the mental damage spreads to individuals you're with. But it doesn't say what any of the damage is, or it doesn't even say the word damage. It just says like they need medical attention like immediately. And it's just weird. Like you're right with the consciousness stuff. There's no way you can look at something and like get that screwed up unless it's,
Yeah. It's
kind of
doing
connecting.
something. Do you have you like looked into the gate program, because I feel like I think the gateway process tapes were being used for that gate program for kids, right? Like I feel like the first time I heard the gateway tapes, I recognized that sound that it starts with. You know, that like,
Beeping.
yeah, that weird beeping sound. I was like, I remember being like, this sounds super familiar. And then I heard someone saying that they remembered hearing that at the gateway or at the gate program, which I don't remember being in the gate program, but I remember going into some weird under, the stairs closet and putting headphones on and doing like these weird tests and stuff. But I was wondering, do
I
you?
remember they did like mandatory hearing tests at my school, and they would show up in a van like a with like a one of those like trailer things, and you'd get in the trailer and it'd play a beep, you'd raise your hand if you hear it. They always told me I did terrible on those. They were like, you can't hear a lot of stuff you're supposed to hear, and I was like, whoa, oh well. Like, you remember the mosquito ringtones that only like people under 30 can hear?
Yeah.
Dude, I've never been able to hear those my whole life.
Dude, I feel like I was told. I remember having like a bad taste in my mouth about that thing because I remember them being like, "Oh, you couldn't hear something." Maybe they were like negging us, dude. They were like trying to see.
Yeah,
They're trying to see if we were like spiritually activated or something, or we like stick up for ourselves, or who knows? I don't know.
I mean that it's such a weird way to try to find like kids too. I mean, I don't really know if I believe the gate program, but a lot of people are saying like they have these weird memories and stuff, and that should definitely be considered because I mean, I've seen like hundreds of people on the internet that are talking about this like all the time. There's a guy that's been listening to Septasync that's been doing a ton of videos on the gate program.
Jake knows nothing.
Jake knows nothing. I
Yeah,
love that
yeah,
dude.
yeah. We love.
Yeah, and his videos made me like really start looking into it, and it's like weird that there's nothing at all. Like, look up FOIA requests for it specific to like testing kids and
That's
stuff.
like
There's
telling in
nothing, dude.
itself, bro. Like,
You know what? There's only like two things I've ever seen that got completely denied by FOIA. And FOIA, the Freedom of Information Act, citizens have the right to know what the government's doing.
yeah.
For like months, people were like, do a video on the Nephilim from the Bible, the giants. And I'm like, that's kind of stupid. I'm not going to do that. I really avoided it. And then I was like, ran out of ideas. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to do this. And it ended up being a really good video. Like, I was completely wrong.
Yeah.
But the CIA, dude, would not release anything regarding it. And part of the FOIA law is you have to explain why you can't release the documents. It's as simple as saying a national security matter. Bro, they would not even say that. They said that these documents are outside of FOIA guidelines. Like, we don't even have to tell you they exist. And I was reading that, and it's like, guys, why is the CIA doing this? Like, that's really weird. This video I thought was stupid at first. Like, I'm heavily reconsidering now.
Dude, I mean, that's
Just
been my whole journey with all of this. I was a skeptic about all of this, and now I'm pretty sure most of this is real. Like all this wild stuff that we think are like fairy tales and stuff. Like, who knows? Nephilim, the CIA thinks they're real, it seems like. You know what I mean?
yeah, dude, they searched for Noah's Ark for like 25 years. I mean, I don't know if that should discredit them or not, but it's like they really look into anything, and that's interesting.
Yeah. And
You think,
they're like kind of they're like way heavy into the occult stuff too, it seems. Like like they're like
yeah, yeah, they
they're
are.
like dark sorcerers, I think, bro. All these CIA goons.
Dude, there's like weird, you'll find weird callbacks in that when they were doing like the psychic testing and stuff, dude. You'll see like if you look in the pictures that they rarely have, dude, there's always like a pentagram or like some really weird shit there. And I was like, I'd be looking at it like, I don't even want to talk about that in my video. Like,
I
that's
know.
super weird.
And all these weird people were around them at the time. Like what's his name? Alan Parsons, or is it Alan Parsons or Jack Parsons? The like occult guy that was like friends with Disney and all those people. Like they literally were like, yeah, we're gonna try and summon, we're gonna do sex magic and bring in the Antichrist. And these people are like friends with Disney and the L. Ron Hubbard and all these people whose like empires now have like spread out throughout everywhere. Like
Is
Scientology
that
is still here.
Aleister Crowley?
Yeah, Aleister Crowley and then is his name Alan Parsons, guys? I think so. But there's like he's like another kind of like dark sorcerer person, and they're all like tied in with the CIA. Like I think that they think magic is real and that we need to start acting like magic is real.
Oh yeah, it's so weird, dude. Like that's the kind of stuff I couldn't even make a video on if I tried. It's like I don't even know how to,
I
I
know.
try to make videos that are convincing, even if it's like the whole thing is probably BS. I still
Yeah.
try to argue for it, and I was like, there's some topics I just can't, dude. I'm like, this is too much even for me.
I'm
Like,
not ready to go there yet.
yeah,
Dude,
oh, it's just bizarre.
one of the FOIA requests that I got denied was I asked the CIA and the FBI to give me all of their documentation of them working with BetterHelp and Done Ahead, and they for both of them they were like, we cannot confirm nor deny or deny that those records exist, which is essentially just them saying that they are in contact with all of these fucking psychiatric therapy places and stuff. Everybody needs to FOIA more.
Yeah, they should. And I mean, dude, like with the whole MK Ultra stuff, and so many things can be like messing with us that we wouldn't know about. Universal Music Group has patents for
Yeah.
using like really specific sets of binaural beats to make you like music you wouldn't normally like. Like
Yeah,
it's
dude.
bizarre, dude. I've always hated like newer rap music. I listen to a lot of 90s rap, like Eazy-E and stuff. Just funny because I'm really white. I get funny looks in traffic all the time. But dude, like I've heard some new music and I'm like, hey, that's actually not bad. And then I'll listen to it later and I'm like, this is trash. Why did I like that? And I would realize I'm like, man, I was listening with my headphones. Maybe it sounds better. But then I read that patent and I was like, oh my God, like they got me.
So is the patent that it sounds better in the headphones?
No, the patent is that they use binaural beats to make you like music you wouldn't like. But if you're not
Oh,
wearing headphones, that's not going to work. So I loved the song when I listened to it with headphones. I listened in my car and I'm like, I literally pulled over to dislike the song. This wasn't that long ago. I was like, this song's like ass. What am I doing?
dude.
I pulled over and like took it out of my playlist.
And of
And then
course
like a
they're
week
doing
later, I
that.
found the patent and I was like, whoa.
Dude, of course they're and dude, if they're doing that with like just headphone music, like imagine what they're doing with the TV and what they're doing with everything, like
Well, yeah, and if you can figure out how to deliver that without headphones, like if this works on the like Septasync working on the deaf lady, in a way could be proof of concept. If you can figure out how to get the vibrations through without the specific auditory channels, you have a weapon. Like one of my buddies when I started Septasync called me and he's like, "Hey man, like you're not willing to die for this, right? And I was like, what do you mean? And he's like, if someone weird approaches you and offers you a ton of money, you better sell that. And I'm like, of course. I'm like, of course, dude. I don't, I want to help people, not be a martyr. But he was telling me, he's like, dude, like, he's really autistic. He researches stuff like crazy. So he went on like a 2-day binaural beat, like research thing. And he's like, what you've created could be weaponized like so easily. He's like, if it really works like the beta testers are thinking it does, he's like, you've recreated sleep, but you can recreate torment and all these other things. And I was like, oh my God, like, you're right.
Yeah, I see.
I mean, you could recreate drugs with frequency if you figure it out the right way. All you got to do is get the right parts of the brain talking to each other.
Yeah. Well, dude, I do keep saying that, like, meditation and yoga are the best drugs in the world. I've done them all.
100%.
And, like, so there is, yeah, for sure.
Dude, when weed can't calm me down, like I'll meditate for like 10 minutes and I feel better. It works almost every time.
Yeah. It's cool. Do you have people fucking with you all the time because you're talking on the internet about this shit? Because I certainly have.
I only got like the only bad stuff that happened was right before I moved from LA. I started hitting P. Diddy really hard. I had this guy reach out. He was like, let me manage your videos. I'll help you get way more views. And he didn't lie, dude. This guy got me from like 10,000 to like 300,000 a video. And what's weird is when I stopped working with him, my views tanked. And then I got banned not long later. Kind of suspicious, maybe. But he told me, he's like, you should look into this P. Diddy guy. He's going to get in trouble really soon. And I was like, all right. And I started looking it up and there was all these rumors about him. And I was like, it's not defamation. I'm not the one bringing this to the table. I'll do it. I started ripping into this guy. I was going through his financials. He's investing in private prisons. He pushes music that promotes illegal things. I was going hard. And then like some guy showed up outside my house. I lived in a duplex and this dude knew like what door was mine. It looked like a side door to the house. Like the part of the duplex I lived in was a garage. So like you have to walk by the front door and like go to the side of the house to get to like my area.
Yeah.
And someone's like pounding on my door at like 2 a.m. And I was playing like fighter jet video games with like staying up all night. And I like went and answered it and I was like, hello. And he's like, you need to stop posting those videos. Like you're doing nobody any good. You need to get yourself off the internet before something bad happens. And then the dude just walked off. I like closed the door. I was freaked out, dude. And then people started just coming by and knocking. And like, I didn't answer the door for anybody after that. I was like, if it's important, they'll like leave a note or something. But like, I remember I went to drive to my sister's house. She was kind of near me. And someone left a note on my car that said, if you don't stop, like this car will be a pile of rubble next time you come outside. And I showed it to my sister, dude. And I mean, those people like messed up the only family I had near me. My sister's husband, he's a really, really good, caring guy. And he just worries a lot. And he got really worried for my sister, his wife, because of what I was posting about. So I couldn't even like communicate with them until that blew over, which was sad. Like we would just text each other, but she was like, hey, like you can't come over here right now. Like we're really worried. And I was like, yeah, that's, I understand. I wasn't upset, but I mean, that's all I've dealt with, but it was really scary, dude.
Yeah,
I called some of my friends and I was like, put your social medias to private. People were messaging my families, like family members, their home addresses. And it got like really bad for like 2 weeks.
Yeah, dude. When I started this a year ago, my ex was getting death threats about it. And like, they tried to do the same thing, like, these people are shameless. And I've heard that other people who've talked about Diddy got like PIs that were coming and like trying to like interview them and like showed up at their house. Like these people are like, how do you know where I live? Like, dude, I wouldn't doubt it. Like, dude, fucking Diddy sicked like a PI on you to intimidate you.
Dude, the DMV did not know where I lived. Nobody on official record knew because like I was lazy and I was working. I wasn't lazy, but I was working like 16-hour days for this business. I was exhausted all the time. I just never went to the DMV and updated my address and my license. It all went to my parents' house and they would just forward it to me.
How the hell would they find you then?
Yeah, dude, that's why it was so scary. I was like, not even the cops know where I live. Like, I don't understand this.
Bro.
Like, I paid my rent in checks, so like there wasn't even a digital footprint for like paying rent where I lived. It was just I was writing checks to some guy named Muhammad. It was bizarre, dude.
I mean, Diddy do be working with the Fed, so who else would know
Did
your
he do it?
address? Bro, that's crazy. I'm sorry
Yeah,
that
that's it's
happened. You didn't deserve that at all. None of us do.
Oh, I mean, it's all right. It's in the past. Honestly, talking about that on people's shows, it's like such a good talking point. I'm okay with it.
Yeah, yeah. Good. I mean, dude, a lot has happened to me too. It's like it is scary, and I don't think a lot of people understand it unless you are like speaking out about it. But like they try and collapse the world around you to scare you, to get you to stop. Like, and some people like us, I feel like I have the opposite thing where if you try and scare me, I am more like
More
deterred.
inclined to do
Yeah,
it
like I
more.
want to. Yeah, like I want. Then I want to burn your shit down. You know. So that's why I'm still here. But yeah, it's horrifying. These people find your like they found my ex's business where she worked. Like made tons of bad reviews about her business and stuff, and then literally did death threats to people. Like, bro, my girlfriend, they fucking like cloned her phone and like they were using like they were like gang stalking her and stuff. Like these people have no shame, and it's all for like speaking out about people who are doing bad. Like it's really messed
Dude,
up.
honestly, I think you can say as much as you want about the government, but rich people is where like you can't cross that line. Like
Exactly.
I was doing a lot of videos on the CEO of Universal and his like really shady business deals and stuff. And Diddy, and that was all where all the bad stuff happened. So I switched to declassified CIA files full time.
Yeah.
And literally nothing's ever happened since then. Like those guys do not care like rich people do.
Yeah. Maybe it's yeah, because the declassified stuff maybe is just like old. Like we can't really because they just never want us to catch on to what they're doing now. You know what I mean? Like I feel like that's why they give us the breadcrumbs of like MK Ultra and stuff because I think a lot of people have a hard time connecting that like MK Ultra just morphed into Facebook and Instagram and TikTok. You know, like I don't think people understand how much you can be controlled or like programmed almost by the videos you see and the words that you hear from people. You know, like you can get your whole opinion changed. I mean, that's what propaganda is, right? Like so many people are like hate Muslims for no reason other than they've seen it on their screens forever from our government and stuff. Like
Dude, literally, I'm Muslim and like that shit used to scare the hell out of me.
it is scary.
Like crazy, dude. It wasn't until I mean I started learning about it, and you know, as I grew up, I learned more. I made friends that were Muslim and realized like most of it's BS, anyways.
Mhm.
But I was talking to one of my buddies recently about the gateway experience and like what it did to me, and I kind of had to tell him like, hey, this is gonna sound crazy, and I think it was like a dream I had while I was awake. I was trying to word it to someone normal, and I tell him the whole experience, and he pulls out the Quran and like literally everything I mentioned, the places it was, everything was in that book. And I was like, oh, that's weird. That was when I converted. I was like,
I was
I
just
will
gonna say,
convert to
oh,
this.
so you converted to Islam? Cool.
Yeah, and that was what did it, dude. Like everything I experienced in Gateway is in that book, even down to the point of where it says your soul leaves your body when you dream and you go
Dude,
to another place. Talks about dimensions. And like, dude, I do not think a human wrote that book. I the more I look into it, like a human didn't write that. It says land 30 times and sea 60 times. Maybe not exactly that, but it hits the exact ratio of land to sea on the earth. Like the page where it mentions man for the first time, or the chapter says the word man like, oh god, what is it? How many chromosomes do dudes have? It mentions it like in it's equal with chromosomes. Same with women and like cows. Literally, that book is like too perfect.
yeah.
It just blows my mind.
My girlfriend too, where she's been decoding with ChatGPT like Genesis because she thinks the same thing, like that it's like a coded book for like our reality basically. And then, you know, it's been changed a lot since the original, but yeah, I think all of these ancient texts are speaking on a lot of truth here. But
And
that's
they're
cool.
all virtually the same. Like
Yeah.
it even talks about ancient civilizations, but greater civilizations than humanity.
Yeah.
You might actually like that one. I think it's on the first page.
Okay.
Talks about learning from the greater civilizations that came like before us, but this book was written like towards the first civilization. So what was there?
Yeah, right? Like
Pyramids.
yeah,
You know?
exactly, dude. I know. This the whole I I want to know, well, we'll figure it out one of these days, but why are we here? We got to know.
Yeah, dude, that's a big one. I think about that all the time. Like, what's the, life's weird. You think about it like all spiritually and stuff, and then like next thing I know, I'm like doing donuts in a parking lot in my car,
Yeah.
and it's like,
But I think
how
that is
how
part
did
of
I
it.
get here? Like,
I'm like settled on that. I think we're supposed to be here to experience everything. Like life is not supposed to be us working. Like life is supposed to be us experiencing freaking everything. Like doing donuts in the parking lot and just experiencing joy. I mean, that's one of our buddies, Gug. He's gotten us deep into the Sasquatch lore. And it seems like the Sasquatch people are very chill and they just want everyone to like be happy and vibe and like dance around in
dude,
the
I
woods.
know nothing about that. I live in Oregon too. Oregon's like there's Sasquatch themed everything, dude.
Dude, we
There's a
think the
Bigfoot in
Sasquatch
the
are
downtown
real.
where I live.
I think now they're like interdimensional entities or something. Maybe they like transferred to the fifth dimension or something, and now their spirits are just around and they can kind of jump into the 3D maybe. But I think that, dude, the government is also very weird about Sasquatch. It's another thing where you're like, why?
Really?
Yeah, dude.
Man, if they ever release a file on it, dude, I'll have a field day.
Yeah. Yeah. I think
All
the
right, man.
world
Well, I
is...
gotta hop off and
Hell
feed
yeah,
my
dude.
animals, but I'd be happy to come on again. I don't work full time anymore, so I've got so many time to do interviews and stuff. So
Okay,
you let me
great.
know, man.
Dude, thank you for giving us your time. Is there anything else you wanted to say? Any more plugs that you want to hit us with before you go? What else are
Oh,
you
dude,
doing?
just if you guys want to listen to Septasync, the link's under my bio or viria.com.
Yeah, I'll put it in the chat right now.
But yeah, I love you guys. Thank you for listening to me ramble all the time and stuff. I appreciate it.
Thanks, buddy.
All right, man.
We had a
Talk to you
blast.
later.
All right, talk to you soon. Bye. Woohoo! Oh, fuck! Fuck, I got no! I got caught off guard. Wait, Ethan! Justin Timberlake or John Mayer? Fuck! We'll get him next time. Dude, I even had it written down. Damn it. I was just so stoked for how great the interview was. I was like, "Oh yeah, that's a perfect time. Let's go." Fail. Worst interviewer ever. Oh man. Well, dude, I was going to ask him earlier, but I was like, "No, it's got to be the last question that I ask Ethan." Ethan, you don't have to answer, but we just want to see your facial reaction. Justin Timberlake was the doo-doo boy? Or John Mayer? Oh, sorry guys, I failed us. What a great little kid. We freaking love that boy, Ethan. Did you guys have fun? I'm sorry, it's hard for me to like look at the chat and not like focus on what Ethan's talking about. So I'm really bad with including y'all. And Judge Doomer being a fucking cuck. Bro got his ass bounced. How dare Judge Doomer? How dare Judge Doomer be the fucking the only comment Ethan sees is from Judge Gooner? Yeah, Ethan is cool as fuck. We had fun. That was great. And we got to see Ethan's cats. Let's go. Ethan said, "I just tried to join the link. I was in there alone. Oh no, yo, I heard your John Mayer question. It was a black male artist." Oh, Ethan just said, "That was the most fun I've had on an interview. Thanks again." Someone almost guessed it in your chat. I had to keep my jaw from dropping. Boys, you got your homework. You got your homework. Who said John Legend? Dude, it's John Legend. It has to be. Who said John Legend? Dude, I'm gonna... I want to FaceTime him and be like, John Legend. Oh, someone almost guessed it in your chat. I had to keep my jaw from dropping. Wait, he said almost guessed it. Boys, well, we'll have to go back after stream. Go back and watch all the guesses. Were you guys guessing the whole time? No, Ethan said that one of you almost guessed who it was. Ethan said, "Just tried to join the link. I was in there alone." yo, I heard your John Mayer question. It was a black male artist. And then he said, that was the most fun I've had on an interview. Someone almost guessed it in your chat. I had to keep my jaw from dropping. I said, we have a scavenger hunt. Haha, this is so fun. I was just screaming John Mayer and Justin Timberlake. But wait, why would Ethan say someone almost guessed it? Maybe, like, what, because he didn't acknowledge it? Or because someone said the right thing? How would that be an almost guess? Dude, that's so funny. Timbaland or T.I.? Did someone say that? Bro. Well, we've got more information to go by now. Tyler Perry. Honestly, it'll probably be more fun to edge this even further and not get the answer until we have Ethan on a third time. Dude, it might be someone from NSYNC. Wait, what do you mean? Ethan said, what do you mean? Ethan said it's a black artist. Wait, why do you guys think it's Timbaland? I mean, he is a cuck. I mean, I love his music, but I do miss, dude, that beat from that Aaliyah song, bro, I was smitten by it. My first heartbreak in life was Aaliyah. So everyone thinks it's Timbaland? Black male artist. Usher. Oh, because Timbaland is like Timberlake. I think they're probably all poop eaters, honestly. I said my chat's guessing Timbaland. Don't tell me. We'll just look at your face next time you come on the show.
Adorned with gold buckles.
Ethan said, they guessed someone really similar, not the actual person. I'll tell the world on my deathbed. Okay, so I'm still putting... Dude, Chrissy Teigen literally eats babies, I'm pretty sure. She eats babies. There's no way that John Legend doesn't eat shit, right? Come on. Of course he does. We waited the whole interview. We need answers now. Ethan's got better things to do. He's a busy man.
Early discovered that gold was one of the most common metals known. And
should I tell him, Tori? Tori says death isn't real. Kanye.
I never saw such a